going? This is Darrin with GuitarControl.com bringing you this video lesson. And today I want to go over how to use the pentatonic major scale. So the other day I did a backing track, a blues backing track that was that utilizes using the major pentatonic, and I got a lot of questions and stuff about it, people just not really sure how to use it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go over what the difference is between major pentatonic and minor pentatonic and how to use it and apply it to what we're playing here. So be sure to click on the link in the description for the tabs, and let's get close up and take a look what we got going on here. Alright, so this backing track is in E, and it's just a 1-4-5, your typical, blues. So 4 bars of the 1 chord, 2 bars of the 4 chord, 2 bars of the 1 chord, 1 bar of the 5 chord, 1 bar of the 4 chord, and then 2 bars of the 1 chord or the turnaround, and then it would just start over again. So if this was just like a typical, like a shuffle thing like that, you could use the pentatonic minor, and it's going to sound really good. But for this particular thing, because of the chord voicings that I'm using, the 1 chord is E9, the 4 chord is A7, and the 5 chord is B7. So when we play the pentatonic minor scale, it starts on an E, so we're playing over our 1 chord, but here's the problem. We go up here, and our second note out of the minor pentatonic scale, right there, that's actually our minor third, so which is what makes this minor. But when we play this E9, or if it was just like an E7, it has a G sharp in it, it has the major third. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically change, so we're using the major third instead of the minor third. So the simplest way to do this is if whatever, like in this case, it's E, so we know our root note here is E. But before, you do the pentatonic minor scale right here, so 12, 15, 12, 14, 12, 14, 12, 14, 12, 15, and 12, 15. So what we're going to do to really simplify this is we're just going to play that same scale shape, but we're going to move it down a step and a half. So that means your first finger is going to move down 1, 2, 3 frets. So that's going to put us at the 9th fret. So all of your first finger will play everything at 9, and then you'll use your second and your third and your fourth fingers just to complete the rest of it. So in a nutshell, what it is that we're playing C sharp minor pentatonic scale, which actually is making it E major pentatonic. So technically, this note here on the 9th fret of the low E is in the scale, but it's not the root note. So the root note is actually here, but just to simplify things, you can just think of it like that. So technically, if you're playing the scale, you would start on this note and work your way up. Anyway, this just gives it a much sweeter sound over these kind of chords because we're outlining the notes that are within the chord itself. So when we play over the 1 chord, which like I said is E9, we're going to use the C minor pentatonic. Now, you don't have to just exclusively use that scale. I did another lesson a while back where I showed some alternative ways to play the pentatonic scale and how to hook them together in this whole formula thing that makes it so you can play over these changes. Anyway, you can use those other 2 patterns. So I'll just leave a link for that here so you can check that out and use those other patterns. So if you do that and you use those other patterns, just remember to start all of them a step and a half lower than you would normally. Okay, so when we're playing over the 1 chord, we can play this E major pentatonic. And then when it goes to the 4 chord, which is A, so now if we went up here to the 17th fret, we played the A minor pentatonic, but again, we want to use the major, so we're going to move it down a step and a half. So we're going from 17 down to 14, which is 1, 2, 3 frets down. So now we can play the scale here over the top of that chord, and it's going to sound good. and then just simply shift back down to your pentatonic major again. E pentatonic major, because it goes back to the 1 chord. Okay, so then when it goes to the 5 chord, which is B, again, we could go all the way up here, but now we're just kind of getting cramped. And just to kind of make it so we're not just stuck in this one area, I'm going to move down. So if I move down, here's B on the 7th fret, so I move down a step and a half. So 1, 2, 3 frets, and that makes me start here on the 4th fret, which is G sharp, and it's part of the scale, but here's our root note. And then after that it's going to shift back to the 1 chord again. So this is where the turnaround is. So at this point, you can just move back up and start playing in the pentatonic, E pentatonic major again. Now, technically, you could play E pentatonic major the entire time over the top of over this. It will sound good, but it just really sounds good when you follow the chord changes. So another alternative thing that you can do here is a thing that I call the Clapton method. So when it's the 1 chord, I play pentatonic major. And then when it goes to the 4 chord, instead of me shifting up to play A pentatonic major, I'm just going to shift up and I'm going to play E pentatonic minor. And then when it goes, and then from there when it goes back down to the 1 chord again, or excuse me, back down to the 1 chord, then I'll shift back to pentatonic major. And then when it goes to the 5 and the 4, I play pentatonic minor, and then when it goes to the turnaround, I go back to pentatonic major. So you're just going between pentatonic major, pentatonic minor, pentatonic major, pentatonic minor, pentatonic minor, pentatonic major. And anyhow, this is just a couple of ideas of how things you can do with this. But anyway, if you use that pentatonic major and you work with it over this backing track, it just sounds really good. Now you could play over the top of it and just use pentatonic minor, but it's just not going to sound as good. And when you play that minor third while the major third is being played there, those notes are going to clash against each other, being ringing out at the same time. All right, so let's check out what that Clapton method sounds like. Playing pentatonic major over the 1. It's going to the 4. So I'm playing pentatonic minor. Back to the pentatonic major. Back to the minor. Back to the minor, or excuse me, back to the major. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed that and you got something out of it. I hope that clarifies this subject a little bit for you. If you're still having questions and not quite understanding it stuff, leave me a comment down below and I'll try to answer that question. If there was something you would like to see covered in a future lesson, leave a comment about that as well. If you've not already done so, please subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell so that we don't miss out any of the content that we upload throughout the week. Anyway, that is all I have got for you today. Thanks for watching and have a great day.